Alright, what's going on, people? Your boy Retro and Rambo back here to deliver you the Xbox One review. Now, as a lot of you may know, the Xbox One came out on November 22nd, and it's been about 3 weeks now since its release, and already we're able to do a review on what we've seen thus far. So let's get right into it, Rambo. Some of the pros of the Xbox One, starting off with the Kinect sensor, which I think actually has been one of the better features that a lot of people kind of seem to undermine when it first came out, or before it came out.
Yeah, the Kinect sensor is actually one of the most important parts to the Xbox One. I know when you had the Xbox 360 and they didn't force you to buy it, people sort of like downplayed it and bashed it. But now that you have it and you're like using it frequently, you're using it to call out commands on games, you know, you're using it to cut on your Xbox and cut off your Xbox, you know, you're using it to search through apps when you can't find your computer, or when you're just up in the morning and you want to listen to something on YouTube, you know, you can just tell it, go to YouTube, next video, play, and there you go. Doing all of that while getting dressed, multitasking.
Exactly, and I think that's what Microsoft put its emphasis on with the console. And pretty much to answer a lot of frequently asked questions, can you play your Xbox One without Kinect plugged up? Yes.
Yes, you can.
Can you do a lot of the things that we were talking about without Kinect? No.
No, you can't.
And you pretty much need it because all the commands to turn it on, turn it off, being able to snap party, snap this, doing like Rambo was talking about with the multitasking,
right. You
need to have the Kinect. And so I think it's one of the better features that they added. Another pro that I think is the controller. When you compare the 360 controller and the Xbox One controller, I think the controller has a decent feel to it.
Right. The when I first got my Xbox One, I pretty much set my controllers right next to each other. The overall design is pretty much the same, except for the fact that it's like trimming the fat off of, you know, like your ham or whatever. You know, they just took off all of the unnecessary and gave it like a smooth, sleek, grippable look.
Did you really just make that analogy of a ham and a controller?
Yes, I did.
Cool. But anyway, I know one of the things that you talked about, they pretty much changed was the grooves of the grooves.
Right.
The grooves of the controller on the analog sticks. Another thing that you were talking about with the controller that you didn't like was the bumpers. And I don't like how, in fact, you couldn't push the bumper all the way down. They had the ends of the bumpers able to push down, but the top of the bumpers you couldn't push down. I didn't like that though.
Yeah, for some reason the Xbox One bumpers are like really stiff at the ends. I'm pretty sure it's at the end. No, it's at the top. They're pretty stiff at the top.
No, you can it's stiff at the top, and the ends are
right. They're loose. So it's sort of like you have to adapt your grip to it. You know, like. But yeah, it just feels weird on your fingers.
Yeah, and that's the first thing I noticed when I first was able to plug it up and all that. It's like, why are the bumpers so stiff? And like you can't press the whole bumper down. You have to press the ends. But I kind of see why they did it, because when I went back to play my Xbox 360, I noticed that my controller, the bumpers on my controller, I think it's been used so much it got worn out that when you press the bumpers down, the whole bumper is stiff. So I guess to loosen it up, they just made the ends kind of like loosen, and then the top of it you just couldn't press down. Although I do think eventually they're going to make the bumpers, the whole bumpers being able to press down, and I think they just use it as a test just to see how people felt about it.
Right.
Another pro that I like, and we're not going to stay too long on these, the friendless capability, being able to and this all goes with Xbox Live, being able to hold over 1,000 friends. I said, that might be a benefit to me more so. I probably won't even use up the whole 1,000, but it just gives you flexibility.
Yeah, you want to know that you can do it.
You can do it, and it has the power to do it. But the main thing that I like with the Xbox One is it's supposed to be an all-in-one console. It has the ability to control your cable, your TV, and I just recently was able to connect my Xbox One to my cable box simply by because we're with Comcast, and as long as you have your username and password, you can connect straight through Xfinity the Xbox One without the need of the cable box there.
Right.
Therefore, I can have the cable box upstairs and still able to watch all the cable channels downstairs, even without having the cable box there. So being able to control that, a lot of other features such as I can watch ESPN and all the other stuff, the apps and all the other shit that comes with it. I think it's nice because it's an all-in-one entertainment system. If you look at games, you have your games. If you're looking to, watch TV and play games, you can do that as well.
Right.
I just like the whole multiplayer. I mean, the whole multitasking concept.
Yeah, because I never understood how you could bash having more of versus having less than. Like, why would you bash being able to do more than one and accept not being able to do more than one? I never understood that.
And think about it. And even if the extra shit that we're talking about, even if it's not performing properly, it's better than not having it at all.
Right.
So let's just say, for example, the whole Xfinity thing I was just mentioning, it wasn't properly functioning. I would still rather have it than not have it at all, and wait for them to make a patch so that they can fix it.
Right, because luckily, we're in a time of age where you can solve everything with an update.
A patch, correct. And the last pro that I had, I don't know if you had any, was the fact that Xbox supports Blu-ray finally. They should have been able to support Blu-ray long time ago, back when even on the Xbox 360.
Yeah, that's definitely a pro, because you hear all the Sony fanboys. That's the only thing they can mention about a PS3 that had any worth, a Blu-ray player. Now that ours does the Blu-ray and everything else, oh my God, you're doing too much. You got a cable box. Yeah, the Blu-ray player was definitely needed.
And actually, that's one of the cons that I had about the operating system is the fact that when you first initially look at it,
you can't find shit.
You can't find shit, and it takes some time to get used to, especially if you're not a Microsoft person.
Right.
I'm a Microsoft person, and I still had trouble figuring out what the hell I'm gonna do with all this shit on the screen. Right. You're not gonna initially be able to figure things out on the first couple nights that you play it. You have to tinker with it a little bit.
Yeah, it hides a lot in there, and there are also, and that can pretty much take us to the next con. What the Xbox pretty much lacks. First of all, why can't I find my hard drive? I know I got 500 gigs, but when you download a game and it takes up 72 gigs, that 500 ain't looking too good, and people keep downloading, and you don't know how much space you have, how much space you've taken up. I don't know what's going on, so I'm not downloading shit.
Exactly, and that's exactly what I was going to say too. That's funny that you said that. 500 gigabytes is not really a lot, and they promote it as a lot of space, but when you actually look at it, 500 gigabytes is not a lot when each game is about 45 to 60 gigabytes to install.
Right.
So when you think about it, you can only get about possibly 11 games.
Yeah.
Maybe. And that's without even deleting any. And so what's going to happen when you reach that hard drive capacity? You're going to have to start deleting shit. So 500 gigabytes sounded like a lot, and it would have been a lot on the Xbox 360, but not on the Xbox One. Which takes me into my next con about the games, is that it takes too long to install the games. One, it forces you to install every new game.
Forces you to install.
And I know me and a couple other people had this problem. It took about 45 minutes for each individual game to install.
Yeah. Now I didn't have that issue, and we're going to talk about that later. But I personally didn't have that installing issue. Mine went in right away.
All right, and so another con that I had was the size of the console itself. So when I first took it out the box, I was like, dude, I mean, you've seen pictures and shit on the internet, but when you actually unbox it and you're like,
it is big.
What the fuck is this?
Yes, it is a very large system. It's bigger than the Xbox 360, way bigger than the PS4, way bigger. That's one pro I had for the PS4, that slim design. I don't know what Microsoft is thinking when they decided to make this Xbox look like a cat litter, or a kitty box, whatever you want to call it. But it's big. It's big.
And I understand the whole point of it being a box, but I think they could have trimmed it down a little bit inside.
Yeah.
The one thing I do like now, I know this is not a con, but I meant to mention it, the disc tray. There's no longer a push a button and the tray pops out. All you gotta do is just stick the game in there.
Right. I don't have to worry about my games getting stuck in the Xbox anymore.
Exactly.
Because It's like you just slide it in and just eats it.
Right. Another con that I had was the game DVR. Now, this could also be a pro. Like, they didn't have to put a game DVR in it, but it's a con simply for the fact that it records in standard definition. So, if you ever like looked at anybody with Xbox One, have you ever looked at the quality of the game DVR? It looks like complete shit. Now, my question is, how can something that requires you to use HDMI produce standard quality when it comes to the game DVR?
Right, and if I'm not mistaken, the DVR clips, they only record up to about 30-45 seconds.
Right, and that
and then you can only load it on specific programs like SkyDrive.
Right. Well, I will clarify. You can when the game itself chooses to record. So you know how sometimes it'll pop up.
Yeah, it'll just record like random moments.
The system chooses what it thinks was a special moment and it'll record it, and that's up to 30 seconds. But if you tell your game DVR to start a clip, it records up to a total of 5 minutes. So it does have a 5-minute clip, but even still, that's not a lot because one gameplay of Battlefield or Call of Duty is going to be at least 10 to 15 minutes.
Right.
So I didn't like the quality, and I don't like the length of how long those games are recorded for.
Yeah.
And so that was another con.
Definitely a con.
Yeah, and if they improve the quality of that DVR, people will start using it more. And also being able to upload on YouTube. I don't like how the fact that, like you said, why are we uploading to Skydive or Upload Studio? Why can't we upload to YouTube? That's stupid. When YouTube is the premier uploading, sharing site, video sharing site, but we can't upload to YouTube, which is stupid. Next one was the party chat. I'll let you go into that one because I know you had some issues with that.
Oh, wow. The party chat. First, let's start off with the party settings. So let's say Retro is playing Battlefield and I'm playing Call of Duty. We cannot turn on our party chat. We can be in the same party, but we can't talk to each other because we're playing different games. And if you go to the snap screen and you look at the top, it'll say on your TV Call of Duty party. But if Retro looks on his, it'll say Battlefield party. So when those two conflict, we can't talk to each other. Now, I've tested this because I've actually gotten off of Call of Duty and I went and got on Battlefield. And all of a sudden, just like magic, I'm able to talk to him.
Right.
Which blows my mind. That shouldn't be the case. What if I don't want to play Battlefield with him? I want to play, I don't fucking know, Smurfs versus Goblins and still talk to him.
Right. And you know the main problem I have with this, and I just look at it on a deeper level, is that when you're making a new system, there should be progression. I feel like they took a step back with the party chat system.
They took 2 steps back.
This was never an issue with the Xbox 360. If we had different games, we could still talk. Why on a new system would you allow me to be playing? I could play Call of Duty and he playing Battlefield, but we can't talk no more. Like, you're not progressing, you're regressing, and I feel like that's a dumb feature. It feels like I'm playing PlayStation 3. You see what I'm saying? Like, we need to be playing the same game in order to talk. They didn't have cross game chat, and that's what the party chat is. Like, you're in a party, but you can't talk to the person in the party because you're playing 2 different games.
Right.
And that's so retarded, and they need to fix that ASAP. Like,
yeah, they definitely need to fix that.
I'm surprised with the update that they came out with, they didn't fix that. Hopefully that's going to be the next update, because that needs to go. Another issue I had was cloud servers. Up to this point have been having problems. A lot of you may know with Battlefield, it's not the cloud servers are having issues with putting me in the games. I had this issue with Call of Duty Ghosts where they would tell me I couldn't connect to the cloud servers. I couldn't connect to Battlefield servers. I couldn't connect to the Madden servers. I couldn't connect to what's the other game?
Pretty much your whole online experience was just fucked up.
Correct. I couldn't, and even me and Rambo, who have a Dead Rising playthrough coming up, we couldn't even connect to each other in the Dead Rising co-op.
Right.
And everything is on cloud now. There's no host. There's no more host anything. So the only thing you can pretty much blame this on is the cloud servers. Like, why couldn't me and Rambo play Dead Rising with each other the other day? Something like with the cloud. It's iffy. Like, some days it'll work, some days it won't.
And that raises questions, because like he just said, some days it'll work, some days it won't, and it's not happening to everybody. Like, I was still able to connect to Battlefield and all of the other games, but Retro wasn't. And that leads me to believe that Microsoft didn't put like 100% of their effort into every system. There's no reason why parts and bits and pieces of his system should be malfunctioning while mine's aren't.
Right, and the problem I have with it is that you don't tell nobody what's going on. Like, you just, like, if nobody complained, you wouldn't even know this shit was happening. Like, and I'm mad that I bought all this shit, all those games, and I couldn't play it for that period of time. Like, I had a whole bunch of games and couldn't play any of them online. Don't get me wrong, I could play single player, but couldn't play online, which totally makes no sense. But
the main reason why we bought the games was to get that online experience.
And the cloud servers are having issues, and that's the one thing that they hyped up so much was we have cloud protection, we have cloud servers, we have cloud computing gaming, but one of the main features that you headline in your system's launch is not even working properly.
Right, now, granted, it is a new system, and I expected it to have, some malfunctions, but it's not even like the system itself is breaking down. This is pretty much like networking issues from Microsoft itself. So right. I need them to fix the issues ASAP.
And Microsoft is a software company, so these type of issues that they're having shouldn't, like cloud. Cloud is all about software. The cloud is not a physical something that you can touch. Cloud is an intangible, so it would be more considered a software. So why are they having software-like problems when they are a software company? So, and you see what I'm saying? That makes no sense to me.
Right.
And then one of the main issue that they have, and this is the last comment I had, was the fact that it's not backwards compatible.
Right. It's not backwards compatible. I had a lot of games that I would rather be playing now than some of the games that you have on the Xbox One. I was disappointed with Rise. I was disappointed with Call of Duty. I didn't buy a lot of other games because I feel like they're redundant. But I would rather be playing Black Ops 2 right now versus playing Call of Duty Ghosts. I feel like I had more fun playing that. It was more exciting, and it passed the time by much more quickly. And I didn't complain. I didn't bitch as much as I did on Call of Duty Ghosts. No, I don't suck on Call of Duty Ghosts. The game is just shit.
Right, and I do feel like there are a lot of games that I have still, like GTA. Now, granted, I wouldn't expect, the quality to be any different because, that's why they would have to make a separate.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? They try to make a separate. They would have to make a whole new programming for it. Right. They would remake Black Ops 2. So even if the quality and shit was the same on the Xbox One, I would still like to be able to play it. Games like GTA and the new Batman that came out that I can't even play because they decided not to make it for Xbox One. Just little small stuff like that. Like, at least let me play my old games. And this is all Microsoft. I don't get, like, I can see if it was a PlayStation game. This is all Xbox.
Yeah, and another con I had with the Xbox One was pretty much like migrating your old profile. If I paid money for a game and I downloaded that game and it's like in Xbox Live's pretty much system, all of that data should have been transferred to the Xbox One, or they should have given me some type of means to transfer my games to the Xbox One. Games like Skyrim, which I downloaded digitally, Yu-Gi-Oh, Castle Crashers, Pac-Man, Sonic, all that shit. I wanted it on the Xbox One. Wasn't expecting like quality upgrade. I just wanted to be able to play the games that I downloaded on that system.
Right, and asking for a quality upgrade is asking for too much. I wouldn't even sit there and dare ask, "Oh, I want full 720 or 1080p quality." I just want to play my game.
Right.
And I didn't personally have this problem, but you was mentioning about the profile. I had a customer coming the other day saying he had problems converting his profile over.
I had those problems.
Yeah, a few people have had those problems, and I personally didn't have those problems. But
and that's a pretty good. It's a good thing that you mentioned that. This is a note to everybody. If you switch your gamer tag on Xbox One, I don't know if the update has fixed it. I doubt it's fixed it. But if you switch your gamer tag, everything gets installed, and your games have pretty much like your Xbox has the rights to all your games, so you can't take it over to somebody's house and play it or whatever. But if you switch your name, it'll pretty much reject you from playing your own games, because your previous gamer tag will technically have the rights to it, and I don't know why, but it takes like a day or two for it to like fully recognize who the new gamer tag is. So be careful when you switch that.
And that's a problem.
That is definitely a problem.
The fact you have to wait that long.
I sent Microsoft an angry text message. They can't even receive text messages, but I was that angry.
You shouldn't have to wait at all. Like, that's a joke. Like,
exactly.
That's a serious problem. You know, and people who buy the console want to play the console right away. And the fact that you have to have these issues, you know, and especially when you have to wait. And
especially when you pay for, a name switch. When you spend that $10 to switch your name, and it's still registering you as such and such from before. Like, I felt like they were stealing. You know, they stole my money. Right, and that's technically what they did. So let's wrap this review up on the Xbox One on a grade of 1 to 10. What would you give the Xbox One as it stands right now? As it stands right now, I would give the Xbox One a 7 with room for improvement. Okay, and I would give it. This is tough to. I would give it a 7.5, simply for the fact that the issues that they have are fixable. Yeah, room for improvement. Like, I can't even believe that they downgraded. Like, the main issues I have is the party and the games, like the cloud service. Everything else, like the operating system, that can be fixed. I mean, it's Windows, right? Crying out loud, like it's their own operating system. That's something that can be fixed. But the cloud and the party system, that they need to change that ASAP. And like a PS note. Why the hell is it that random people can just join my friend list? I don't want Raging Marshmallow on my friend list. I don't know who that guy is. He should not be on my friend list. Right, they don't have an accept friend button. Right, I can't accept or deny people. They just pop up. It's like that guy walking behind you when you're going to 7-Eleven. You don't know where he's going, but he pops up. I don't like that. Right, and granted, now they have a follower system. I can understand they put them on my followers list. Right. But to put them on my friends and followers and I don't even accept them, that's a problem. So, yeah, those are the two main issues that I had with it. They fixed those. It could easily be a 9. Yeah, and that's all bundled up in notifications. The notifications are terrible on the Xbox One. They don't tell you anything. Don't tell you when your friend pops up online. Right. It tells you when they invite you to a party, but sometimes, like when me and Rambo playing Battlefield. Right. Sometimes you aren't even being invited. It's just popping up on the screen. You don't know what's going on. Another thing. That's another thing we forgot to mention. The fact that the game has an auto invite system if we're in the same party. Yeah. Like, and sometimes that can be annoying. Like the other day, like I was playing with a couple people, and there was another guy in the party who wasn't playing with us, but he kept joining games, like over and over. Like he couldn't. I guess he was like disconnecting from the games. And so every game that he joined, the invite will pop up. Right, because pretty much what it does is when you're in that party, it's going to invite your friends to the party. So, and I've noticed this. It won't even invite friends. It'll just invite anybody who's in the party who's playing the same game. Yeah, well, they don't even have to be playing the same game. Because while you were playing Call of Duty, on Battlefield, I was playing Rise, Son of Rome. And I couldn't connect to any matches because it kept on inviting you. Right. And I was like, okay, so I had to leave the party, get a match, then join the party. Right, and so that's the problem. And last and finally, would you recommend this system to someone who hasn't bought a new gen console yet? Yes, even with all the flaws, they're all pretty much fixable. So yeah, I would recommend it. Okay, and likewise for me, because we won't be seeing a new gen system for another 10, 11 years, if they even do that. So I still recommend it over a PS4, and I'll be able to do a full-blown comparison once I get a PS4. But I just feel like the social networking aspect that's on Xbox One, it's just entirely better than Sony in a whole. So right, yeah. So that's our review for the Xbox One. I hope you guys enjoy. Remember to subscribe to me and Rambo whenever Rambo decides to make any more videos. Bro, my Elgato, my HD PVR is screwing up. So you want and that's another side note that you might want to mention. I know we just talking off topic and shit, but you have problems with your PVR too. Explain to the viewers what they might need. So if you start recording. So if you guys don't already know, you pretty much need an HD splitter, and you need to go to like the Head Plunge home page. It should be like right on your box or on the bottom of the HD PVR, and you have to update your HD PVR, because the Xbox One has like a particular setting built into it that'll deny your HD PVR access to, you know, like the video settings. So what the splitter is going to do is going to pretty much go around that setting that's like embedded in the Xbox One and allow you to record. Now, if you don't want to go through the update and buy an HD splitter, you can just get an Elgato and record that way. But if you want to, you know, be cheap and save money, HD splitter and go to the HD PVR page and update your HD PVR.
There you go. All right.
Do version 1.3 or version 1.4. You'll know what I'm talking about when you see it. Don't do 1 or 2 because they won't work.
Alrighty. Xbox One review. We're out. Peace.
See you.